Hello everyone and welcome back to NKR and welcome to Traditional Tuesday. Today we have a special treat. Is this really traditional? I don't know. This is modified traditional, maybe I would say. This is a Case 6.5 Bonestag Kickstart Trapperlock. So there's a lot going on here. For one, let's take a close look at it. This Bonestag is beautiful. The finish, fit and finish and quality of this knife, beautiful. Now here's another thing that's not traditional. You get a pocket clip on this. Not a deep carry pocket clip, but a pocket clip nonetheless. And it's a tip down, which isn't my favorite, but this is an extremely interesting knife and I really wanted one for a while. So let's get a little closer look at the blade deployment and the liner lock. You have this more or less preloaded back spring. So when you give a little effort at the thumb stud, not a lot. Enough to be safe, let's say that. It does require a deliberate push, so I don't want to mislead you in that way. But you don't have to do it like a non-assisted knife, traditional hard thumb flick with it. It'll deploy pretty much on its own once you get it started. When it comes out, you get a nice, highly polished blade, very sharp, and you can see the liner lock. The way Case does these, they're a little different than, again, a modern liner lock where you're typically looking right out of the box at, anywhere from 30 to 50% lockup or engagement with the liner lock. You can see, hopefully there we go, focus. You can see that the lockup on this is pretty much all the way over, and from my understanding that's just pretty well how they do these. But they give you a little axis cut here in the side of the covers, so you can get your thumb in there very easily and unlock the blade. And the blade is pretty loose until you meet the spring tension, and from there you have to give it a little bit of force to get it in, and then again that preloads that spring. So let's have a look at it next to a traditional Case trapper. You can see they're about the same length, a little over 4 inches. The traditional Case trapper is heavier, fairly noticeably heavier, which, depending upon how you feel about that, either makes it feel higher quality or a little heavier, a little heavier in pocket, where the Kickstart with the pocket clip hangs pretty easily and more or less disappears in your pocket. But let's take a look at some weights on this. The Kickstart trapper is 3.7 ounces, and the traditional is right there at 3.9 ounces. So not a huge difference, but it is noticeable, surprisingly. So let's look at some overall dimensions on this. You can see the handle, as we stated, was just a little over 4 inches. With the blade deployed, overall we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 7.25 inches overall. It's a good size. Feels great in hand, easy to manipulate, great fidget factor. If that's your thing, if you want to drive your wife crazy while you're watching TV, this will do it, although it's a lot quieter than a modern assisted knife. So maybe best of both worlds. You get to have your fun with it and not irritate everyone else in the house. Overall, I'd have to say that this is an excellent knife, and it's traditional, typical, I guess I should say, Case quality. Super nicely done, where the covers meet the bolsters, it's super smooth. The rivets are all done well. But at $135, you sort of have to go out of your way for this one, especially when you can get a regular trapper for much less money than that, especially if you can catch them on sale. Would I recommend it? Yes. Will I buy another one? Probably not. One's probably enough for me. I like modern knives. I like traditional knives. This one's somewhere in the middle. I would probably spend my money in the future in the case realm on more traditional knives than I would one of these crossover pieces. Unless, I don't know, I love this Bonestag, this 6.5 Bonestag that they've come up with. So I don't know, maybe I would if it was the right deal, but probably one's enough. That's my feeling on it. But I would encourage you to try one and see what you think of them. They're a lot of fun, and they work perfectly. Anyway, if you like what you've seen here, please like and subscribe. Drop me a comment down below, and thanks for joining me. See ya.